Hello guys, my name is Hunter and I'm the current ethics chair for the Student Government Senate. I'm currently in class at the time of this info session, so I recorded this video for you guys to learn a little bit about the ethics committee. So starting off, right, the first thing that we do is eligibility checks. We conduct these checks every semester to determine whether registered student orgs are allowed to receive funding before they go to Campus Council for interim funding or CAF for annual funding. Our committee decides if they're eligible at all. At the beginning of the year, we handled interim funding eligibility checks for orgs that did not apply for annual funding the previous year. These checks run from the summer session into early to mid-fall, continuing until Campus Council runs out of its interim funding pot, which was $100,000 this year. At the end of the fall semester, going into the spring, we review the annual process constitutions for organizations seeking funding for the following academic year. When we determine eligibility, we focus on whether orgs require mandatory dues. We do not allow funding for orgs that charge mandatory dues, and we determine this by reviewing their constitution. If an organization does not require mandatory dues, we email them confirming their eligibility and move them to Campus Council or CAF. And if they do require mandatory dues, we notify them that they're ineligible for funding and give them two options. They can either remove their dues requirements to become eligible or keep it and remain unfunded. The next thing that we do are confirmations, which is how we review and approve or fail nominees in accordance with student government statutes and rules of procedure. And these are for all people that are nominated for federal roles like the federal cabinet, the Supreme Court. Those all go before ethics committee for us to determine the ethicality of the hiring process. So the chair receives many documents, including the hiring team summary. They prepare and organize these materials, and then they hold a meeting where the nominating officer comes and presents the information. Before they present, they must complete an affirmation stating that they will conduct the hearing honestly and transparently and answer the questions truthfully. Then, after the nominating officer presents, the committee has a Q&A and then a discussion period. Finally, the committee can vote on the ethicality of the hiring process, which then it moves on to the Senate to also be voted on again. The next thing that the ethics committee does is oversee the audit process, which is where student government audits, tracks spending, and ensures compliance for A&S funded events as required by statutes. The ethics chair creates a tracker of all A&S fee funded events so senators can sign up to audit them, and maintains a master list tracking each senator's completed and outstanding audits. Every senator must complete at least 2 audits for the semester. They also review the Bulls Connect submissions by the senators and verify the responses and approve submissions. The last thing that the ethics committee does is investigations. An investigation is the formal process used to review alleged violations of student government statutes or procedures, ensuring fairness, transparency, and due process. All investigations begin with an IRF, or an investigation request form, which determines whether an issue is worthy of investigation and ensures a structured process. Then the committee decides whether to move into investigation or whether to archive the IRF. So that is a little bit about what the ethics committee does. Thank you so much for your time. Sorry I couldn't be there again. And if you have any questions about anything, definitely feel free to reach out to me at sg-ethicschair@usf.edu. Thank you.